What else do we have? So signs she's had lots of cocks. It seemed to be having a theme here. When you're talking to a girl, you're also looking for the subtle. You're discerning what you're dealing with through subcommunication. She's not just going to come out and go, God, I fucked like 100 men. You're going to have to kind of like count up the men as she's telling you her history. And again, it's how you discern, because going direct is not sexy, and it's not fun, and it's not part of game. Game a little bit is teasing out the information from her so you can better know how to deal with her. Some girls that are experienced and know your player, know you're the right guy for them in that situation. So a lot of times it actually plays to your advantage being experienced. But again, signs she's had lots of cocks, lots of college. College is 4 years of getting crazy. There's a small subset of girls that are going for the MRS degree. They want to be married, if not in college, immediately after. These girls aren't going to be fucking around a whole lot, because they know that as their cock count goes up, their value goes down. So they might have had like one boyfriend in high school, and then they get to college and they're like, I need a dude with a future, and lock him down. And that's their goal. So there's not going to be a lot of party. And you're not going to, and if you're kind of a player, you're not going to be on her radar anyway. They're going to give you like 10 seconds of hey and bye, because they know what they're looking at, and you're not going to fit their role, which is a guy that they can like lock down fast. But in the college years, I mean, there's not going to be any place. You will never spend 4 years ever again in any one place with as many single, slim, unattached, open to experimentation and open to suggestion girls in one place, and with nobody's looking for you. So even as much as you think corporate life would be even better, it's not, because people are kind of desperate, and girls are already kind of on their bullshit of, looking for, either a career or a husband. And so that 4 years in college is probably your best 4 years of just laying a lot of pipe, and the girls are just running around. Travel anytime, again, and we know this if you've been on my timeline for any time, travel is number one for girls being able to have lots of anonymous sex with guys that don't talk, and then come back and their number starts out exactly where they left it. It's a chance, because girls want to do things without the risk of being slut shamed. So therefore, anytime they travel and nobody's looking over their shoulder and they can do things without anybody knowing, even better. And it's always under the code word of adventure. They want to have adventure. Business travel, it's the same thing. Girls that travel a lot for business, no matter what, they're going to be around a bunch of alpha guys. Generally, they'll deny this, but you can ignore that. But guys that are kind of hard chargers will be traveling too. And so you're going to deal with the same thing. No matter what they say, the reasons for travel is anytime they're away from home, they have more anonymity, and therefore they're going to be a little bit looser. Major city to small town. It's kind of like I've talked to girls from small towns, and they have to be more self-conscious of their reputation, because everybody's watching them. And in a major city, again, anonymity. No one knows them. A decent looking, a 5 or a 6 in a medium to major city with an app can go out with somebody different every night of the week. And they do. And it doesn't mean that they don't sleep with them also. So again, they're not just going out for a meal, they're going out for fun. So any time you're dealing with major city versus small town, and a small town girl can rack up some numbers too, but generally you'll have more opportunity, and girls that want to have a little bit more adventure do go to the city. And a lot of girls that come out of the small town, they know they don't want to stay there, so they move to the major cities for more adventure. Any male-dominated industry is going to make you more masculine. Again, I always say lawyers are the worst, because there's nothing more basically it's an adversarial atmosphere. You have to be competitive, aggressive, all the things you don't want in a girl, they have to channel in order to be good attorneys. Even if it is just pushing paperwork, their persona has to become more of a, I've got to win this thing. So it tends to masculinize women. I've met a very small handful of women that could actually balance it. We even, like Bunny and I, know a judge who is very feminine, and she's a mom, and you would never know she's an attorney and has been a judge, and just by her demeanor, but it's there. She has to be able to turn that on. But generally, running around out and about, you'd never know. But most of the time, it makes women very masculine. Military, and I was in the military and had a chance to talk to a lot of girls that came into the military over time. And I did notice over time that, they're showing up with a problem. Girls that join the military, that enlist, not necessarily officers, but those girls that enlist in the military, I never met one that wasn't running from somebody. They were running from a stepdad, a dad, an uncle, abusive boyfriend, a horrible husband, a bad situation. They're always joining to escape some man. It was never like poverty or, a bad situation. It was always running from some dude. And in the military, again, your average 3 or 4, because there's no women or fewer women than normal, they start looking better and better. And this is normal, especially as soon as you go into basic training, these girls that look horrible on day one, by the time you graduate, they look great because you've been so deprived. So again, the military, if they have a military background, and again, it's a very masculinizing environment. You're going to have some history there, and it's almost always bad. It just always, I've never seen a girl enlist and then just have a very rare, great career and everything goes well. There's always, I'm always waiting when I talk to somebody that's been in the military and they go, it was going great the first 6 years. And then, I got sexually assaulted. It's almost inevitable that it comes up like that because of the environment. So just know. And bartenders, again, anytime you mix alcohol is sex fuel. So they're going to have a history. Flight attendants, again, there you go. You've got alcohol, you've got travel, and you've got pretty girls and guys flying in first class on business. So there's and hotels. And then there's pilots. So there's all kinds of opportunity to get into trouble and pump those numbers. Singles past the early 20s. Most girls, and I've kind of been coming to this conclusion over time, that our quality aren't going to make it past 25 without being locked down. There's so many guys out there looking for a quality girl. It's very rare that they're going to make it past 25 unless they're after their career. They make one bad decision, like the guy just doesn't want to get married. But again, guys, they might pick a good girl that's like 23. And they don't want to get married till they're 35, but they don't know that. A lot of guys are just kind of like going through life. Just, they'll be with a girl and they're like happy. They're having regular sex and she's cool, but she's got this. She's like, I'm going to date this guy for 2 years. Then we're going to get engaged. We're going to be engaged for 1 year. Then we're going to get married. We'll be married for 1 year, kind of get to know each other and spend time together. Then we'll get a house. And then we're going to have a house for 2 years. We're going to make improvements. And then I'm going to get pregnant. Because it's always, the bottom line is, that's the girl blueprint. That's what girls do, 99% of them. And that's your blueprint, is boyfriend, engagement, wedding, house, babies. Because the last thing is babies, no matter what. So that's the blueprint. And if they're going past 25, they're not quite following the blueprint as well, or they have decided they want to do a little bit of a career. But the girls that want to follow the blueprint hardcore are going to have that MRS degree. They're going to get married early. They're going to start having those kids early. That's what you normally see. Again, there's anomalies, but it's probably not the girl that's in front of you. Multiple boyfriends and marriages. This is just part of it. I think usually by the time you're about 35, you don't even really, at least in general, this isn't, everybody has their own, the number of guys that she's been with as an adult, you just kind of like realize that it's part of the game. You're not going to meet a virgin. It might not be a good idea to meet a virgin that's 25. And even Bunny and I had done an entire video on that, and then I asked guys what else that they saw. So let's see what we got here. If things are working for me. Works in finance. And that's probably a guy that's in banking. Again, in the finance world, they tend to, don't hold me to this, they tend to date within their own little world. Travel nurse, again, number one, in which I believe, is agreeable. And then high school teachers. See, I don't have any background in that. I don't know why that would be